Picture yourself on a Tokyo train, riding in with everyone else to the office. It's Monday morning, and the car is full of designer suits and expensive labels. Every person around you seems to be working hard to stand out. And yet the one you can't stop noticing is a woman dressed almost plainly. A simple gray linen top, dark pants, fabric that's clearly been worn many times. Somehow, none of that makes her look less put together. If anything, she radiates a kind of quiet confidence that no price tag could buy. And maybe that makes you think of your own closet, stuffed, bursting at the seams, and still, every single morning, that same familiar dread. Closets full, yet somehow nothing feels right to put on. If that sounds like you, keep listening, because her secret isn't a shopping secret at all. It comes from an old Japanese way of thinking, and it has almost nothing to do with acquiring more. It's entirely about your mindset the instant you open that closet door. Stick around, because the last of the three ideas is the one that actually breaks the cycle for good. Let's start changing how you get dressed, beginning tonight. She isn't remarkable for what she purchased. She's remarkable for what she chose to do. 3 choices, built on 3 Japanese concepts that mainstream Western fashion has basically overlooked for years. Because once you actually grasp them, shopping the old way stops making sense. What I'm sharing today isn't meant to be some idea you nod along to and forget by tomorrow. It's meant to be something you can actually use, starting with the clothes already hanging in your closet. No trip to the mall, no big splurge, no total wardrobe reset that drains your bank account. By the end of this, you'll see your clothes differently. You'll see yourself differently too. And tomorrow, getting dressed might actually feel easy. Not stressful, not like a performance, just easy. But first, let's talk honestly about your closet, because it's an uncomfortable topic. Most of us operate on this assumption. More clothes means more choices. More choices means more confidence. And more confidence means a better life. It sounds airtight. It's also flat out false. Think back to the last thing you bought to wear. That little thrill. That feeling of certainty. This one item was going to change something. That once you had this top, this outfit, these shoes, you'd finally become the version of yourself you'd been picturing. Now, fast forward 3 months. Where did it end up? Worn a couple times, shoved toward the back, buried under something more recent. That's not a personal failing. It's just brain chemistry. Roughly 12 weeks after any purchase, your brain settles back to its normal baseline. The thrill was genuine, but it was never built to last. And the fashion industry has essentially engineered its entire business around that exact moment. The second your excitement fades and you start craving that spike again. You're not buying clothes because your taste is lacking. You're buying because you've been trained to. And the numbers back this up. Most people only actually wear about 1/5 of what they own, and they wear it most of the time. Own 50 pieces? You're probably rotating through 10 of them. The other 40 just sit there, unworn, unused, quietly eating up space, not just in the closet, but in your head too. Because here's the part nobody mentions. Your brain doesn't just tune those unworn clothes out. Researchers call it an unresolved environmental cue. Basically, your mind keeps low-key working on it in the background. Every morning you crack that door open, there's this heaviness before your day has even really started. That drained feeling before coffee isn't laziness. It's your brain trying to sort through a pile of half-finished decisions all at once. Does this go with that? Is this even right for today? What am I signaling by wearing this? What does it say about who I am, or who I'm not? So there you are, staring into a packed closet, convinced you have nothing to wear, when really the issue was never a shortage of options. It's an overload of options you don't actually trust. The fashion industry thrives on exactly this. It's not really selling clothing. It's selling the idea that who you are right now isn't quite enough, and their next item will fix that. A pitch with no real resolution, because resolution was never the goal. The woman on that train simply stopped buying into that pitch. And the moment she did, everything shifted. Not her income, not her body, not her situation. Her whole outlook. What I want to walk you through has roots that go back centuries in Japan. The West picked it up eventually, slapped the label minimalism on it, and mostly missed the actual point. Because over here, minimalism became a visual style, a specific palette, a fad. What the Japanese version actually gets at runs much deeper. It's not about appearances at all. It's about how you actually exist alongside your belongings. The first idea begins tonight. It's called Danshari. 3 characters, each pointing to a distinct mental shift. Dan means turning away what tries to come in. Sha means letting go of what's no longer useful. Ri means loosening your emotional grip on objects themselves. This isn't about tidying up, sorting into neater stacks, or investing in nicer bins to fold everything into. Those aren't fixes. They're stalling tactics, just repackaging the same clutter into something that looks orderly. Danshari is really a shift in how you relate to your possessions altogether. The woman behind this idea, Hideko Yamashita, boiled it down to one piercing question. Which matters more, your life or your stuff? Simple on the surface, not simple to actually live by. Most of us grew up learning to hoard, to hang on to everything just in case your body changes back, in case that one event finally happens. And letting something go can feel like admitting the person you bought it for doesn't exist anymore. That's the part nobody says out loud. Every piece you never wear is carrying something. An old version of yourself you're not quite ready to let go of. A future self you're unsure you'll ever become. An event that never happened. A life path that veered off somewhere else. So the closet turns into more of an archive. A little museum of everyone you've been and everyone you hope to become. And every morning, you're standing in that museum trying to pick which version of yourself to wear that day. No wonder it's exhausting. Danshari's answer: shut the museum down. Your job isn't to preserve the past, it's to dress for the life you're actually living right now. It offers one direct, honest question for every single item. Does this belong in the life I'm living today? Not 3 years ago. Not some hypothetical future. The actual life you're in right now, with its real job, real routine, real body, real everyday reality. Anything that honestly earns a yes gets to stay. Anything that gets a no gets released, with appreciation because it mattered once, and without guilt because it doesn't matter now. Tonight, not this weekend, tonight, pull everything out of your closet. Spread it across the bed. Go piece by piece and ask the question honestly. Be truthful. Take your time. Don't go easy on yourself. What goes back in isn't necessarily a smaller collection. It's an honest one. A closet that actually reflects who you are. Worn with quiet, genuine confidence. That's the first reason your eyes kept drifting to her on that train. Her wardrobe is honest. Every piece has passed that test. And wearing only what genuinely fits your life changes something physical. Your shoulders drop, your gaze softens. There's a stillness that settles over a person that no tailored blazer could fake. You picked up on that before you could even explain it. What you were really sensing was her honesty. 2 more ideas to go. The next one will completely reshape how you think about empty space. And the last one, the deepest of the 3, is the one the fashion industry dreads most, because once it clicks for you, the whole cycle stops for good. The second concept is ma. English doesn't really have an equivalent word, because our language was never built around this idea. Western design has spent generations trying to eliminate exactly what ma values. Ma is empty space used on purpose, with intention. Not emptiness meaning nothing's there. Not emptiness as a gap you failed to fill, but emptiness as structure, the very thing that lets everything else function. The character itself comes from 2 ancient images, a gate and sunlight passing through it. Light doesn't fill up the gate. It moves through the open space. Without that opening, there's no light at all, just a solid wall. You see this concept everywhere in Japanese tradition. In buildings, the gap between rooms is where the structure seems to breathe. In a tea ceremony, the silence between gestures isn't wasted time. It carries meaning. In a garden, one stone set into raked gravel is exactly what gives the surrounding emptiness its point. And in a closet, the gap between hangers isn't wasted rail space. It's what allows each piece to actually be seen, reached for, and trusted. Here's the science behind an overstuffed closet. Your brain reacts to it the same way it reacts to a messy desk. Cortisol spikes, decision-making gets worse, and a low hum of anxiety follows you into the day before you've even chosen an outfit. You're already playing catch-up before your morning has started. But when there's actual breathing room, when ma exists between your clothes, the opposite kicks in. Clarity, ease, a sense of control. Your eyes can actually process what's in front of them. You reach for things without second-guessing. Getting dressed becomes a 2-minute task, and it feels certain, not stressful. Here's the exercise that builds this. The 10-second closet check. Tomorrow, before you touch anything, just stand in front of your open closet and look. Don't reach, don't decide, just look, for a full 10 seconds. If your eyes can't land on 2 or 3 pieces you completely trust, pieces with zero mental back and forth, no, well, maybe if, then there's still too much visual noise and not enough may. The target is a closet, where everything you can see is reliably good. Not fine on a good day, not works with the right accessories, not flattering under soft lighting, just consistently, dependably yes. Once every visible item clears that bar, you're no longer choosing between competing options, you're just getting dressed. And that's a completely different experience. One version is a negotiation every morning. The other is simply confirming what you already know. The woman on the train isn't negotiating with her closet. She's confirming. That stillness you noticed in her, that's exactly what that looks like. It's the second reason people can't look away. She's not putting on a show, she's just confirming who she is. The third idea is the deepest one, and it doesn't just change what you wear, it changes how it feels to wear it. The fashion industry has no real counter to this one, because there's no product they can pitch you around it. This third idea is actually 2 concepts held together, like a hand cupping both the mug and the warmth radiating off it. The first piece is wabi-sabi. Roughly translated, it's an appreciation for things that are temporary, flawed, and unfinished. Wabi is about simplicity, the plain, understated, honestly unfussy version of something. Not plain like cheap, plain like pure. A wooden bowl where you can still see the grain. A ceramic mug where the glaze ran slightly in the kiln. And that imperfection is what makes it beautiful. Sabi is the beauty that builds up with time. A stone path smoothed by years of footsteps. A leather bag that's been carried for 15 years and looks better for it than one straight off the shelf. Her worn collar. The one scuff on her shoe. Not beautiful despite those marks. Beautiful because of them. Where isn't damage? Where is proof? Proof that a life is actually being lived in those clothes. Applied to your closet, wabi-sabi says something simple. Stop holding out for pristine condition to feel confident in what you wear. The shirt you've worn for 3 years and fits you like it was made for you carries more power than something you bought last week and still can't quite style. Because that old shirt already understands you. And people can feel that, even from across a packed train car. But wabi-sabi isn't just about how things look. It addresses something deeper. It's relief from a very specific kind of pressure that modern consumer culture is exceptionally good at manufacturing. The sense that you, yourself, are unfinished. The whole foundation of Western consumerism rests on one idea, that who you are right now is a problem. Not stylish enough, not polished enough, and whatever product comes next will finally close that gap. But it's a story engineered to never actually end, because ending it would mean losing a customer. So the cycle keeps spinning. New season, new trend, new gap, new product, brief satisfaction, new gap again. Wabi Sabi rejects that whole premise. You're not something broken that needs fixing. Who you are today, imperfect, still growing, already deserves to be dressed with confidence. And tied to Wabi Sabi is the second half, Chisoku, the idea of recognizing enough, not having enough, which is a shaky foundation that collapses the moment things get tight, but knowing enough, a settled internal sense that what you already have, chosen honestly and actually worn, is sufficient. Studies show that the satisfaction from a new clothing purchase becomes indistinguishable from your normal baseline within about 12 weeks, and then the itch comes back. The cycle restarts. But Chisoku isn't about denying yourself anything. It's about understanding that cycle clearly enough that it stops controlling you without your noticing. Once your closet has been through Danshari, and Ma is present in the space that's left, what remains genuinely is enough. Not as a consolation, but as a full, honest reflection of who you are. Instead of asking who you should be today, you're simply confirming who you already are. She isn't dressing to turn into someone. She's dressing as the person she already is. So here's your actual plan. Not eventually. It's tonight. Empty out your entire closet. Go through every piece and ask one question. Does this belong in the life I'm living right now? Every yes goes back in. Every no gets released. With gratitude, no guilt attached. What's left is your honest closet. Tomorrow, stand in front of what remains. Don't grab anything right away. Just look, for a full 10 seconds. Notice where your eyes land instantly, without hesitation. Those are your anchor pieces, the ones you already trust without thinking. Then notice what your eyes skip over, what makes you hesitate. Ask those items the same question again. Think of the first pass as the rough draft. The second pass is where you actually find clarity. What's left after that isn't a specific number of items. It's a personal collection where every single piece shares one trait. Total, unconditional trust on your actual body, in your actual life. From here, Wabi Sabi starts working naturally in the background. That small wear mark on your favorite shirt stops looking like a reason to replace it and starts looking like a reason to hold on to it. And Chisoku shifts from something you have to consciously practice into something you just live in. The restlessness fades. The scrolling slows down. The craving quiets. Not because you fought it off, but because there's nothing left feeding it. Going forward, keep one rule. One thing in, one thing out. Always. And before buying anything new, ask that same question up front, not afterward. Does this belong in the life I'm living right now? If it's not an immediate, obvious yes, it's a no. Walk away. That clarity feels odd at first. Then it starts to feel like freedom. The woman on that Tokyo train has no idea you're watching this. She's not standing in front of her closet every morning feeling overwhelmed. She opens it, sees clearly, and picks without second-guessing herself. And that's not luck. And it's not some innate style gene she was born with that you weren't. It's because she made 3 decisions most people never even realize are available to them. Not because those decisions are hard, but because nobody ever explained that they existed. Danshari, she released everything that didn't belong to her real, present life. She shut the museum and opened an actual closet. Ma, she preserved space for her eyes to rest between pieces. Wabi Sabi and Chisoku, she stopped trying to become someone through her clothing and just started being someone in it. She figured out that imperfect doesn't mean flawed, and that enough was never a quantity. It's a decision. Tonight, you start. Open the closet. Ask the question. Let go of what doesn't belong to your real life. Leave room to breathe. Trust what's left standing. Tomorrow will feel noticeably different. Calmer, clearer, more like an accurate version of you than you've felt in a while. And next time you're standing on a crowded train, in your worn gray shirt, dark pants, one slightly scuffed shoe, someone nearby won't be able to stop glancing at you. Not because you're flashy, not because you're trying, but because you've reached something people spend a lot of money chasing and rarely find. You'll simply look whole. One last thing before you go, because it actually matters. Go look through your closet right now and find that one item you haven't worn in over a year but still can't bring yourself to give away. You already know exactly what it is. It came to mind the second I mentioned it. Tell me in the comments, what's that item and who were you when you got it? Because it was never really about the fabric. It's about a version of you that you're still quietly hanging on to. And sometimes just saying it out loud is enough to loosen that grip a little. I read every comment, and honestly, those stories are the whole reason this channel exists.